So before we get into the video, I just want to say that I relied on autofocus for this video because I can't reliably manually focus. So anytime I move, it'll go out of focus, but that's actually just my artistic vision. So if you don't get that, then you just don't understand. You just don't understand me, and you're a loser.
What's up, guys? It's me, Row Reviews, and today we're doing something a little different. Not a very unique idea, but an idea that I thought would be fun at the very least, and that is a Persona character tier list. Now, Persona has become, one of my favorite game series as of late, and my favorite aspect of these games is the characters. And I have this tier list pulled up in front of me with pretty much all of the main social link characters. I'm only going to be ranking characters from 3 through 5 because the first two, they don't exist. They don't exist, and we're not going to be talking about them. Now, I have made videos on these games before, full-length ones that you can check out, and in those I did talk about the characters, but there were quite a few that I did not touch upon at all. So this will be my chance to, gush about the ones I love once again, as well as talk about ones that I did not get around to. Let's go, starting with Persona 3. Kicking things off with Minato, the protagonist. Some people call him Makoto, but I named him Minato because that's the name that I looked up, and honestly I prefer that name because there's already a Makoto and that'd be kind of weird. So the thing is with the protagonists is that they kind of have a personality, but they also kind of don't. So it'll be a little hard to rank them, but I will regardless. And Minato, I definitely enjoy him quite a bit. He's pretty apathetic. He's got awesome hair. He's got awesome headphones. He's pretty cool. I'm gonna put him in B tier. He's good. He's good. He's definitely a very good protagonist. I can't really complain about him, but I don't like him as much as the other ones. Yukari Takeba. I think some people don't really like her, but I do. I love Yukari, actually. She's not like really emotive or like energetic like some of the other girls later on in the series, but she's really nice. I really like her social link. I think her arc is very good. I just really liked her. I liked her quite a lot. I'd say she's A tier for me. Junpei Iori. More like Stupé, Ace Defective. Yep, it's a funny reference. I await your applause now. Junpei, honestly, he's probably... okay, he's not the best Persona 3 character, but he's one of the best. Because, not only is he really lovable and fun and goofy in the beginning, but that character arc, man, that was deep. That was deep. That was resonant. It added to the themes of the game, and honestly, that's the best thing you can do. So on top of being a likable character, he has he's got good plot. Good. I'd say he's pretty much anything I'd want out of a Persona character, so I might just go S tier off the bat. Okay, Akihiko. I didn't get to talk to him in Portable because I didn't play all of it. But, in the base game, like, I definitely enjoy his kind of loner, like, bad boy, like, he's that guy, he's that character. And he's good, he's tough, he's cool, he's very cool, he's effortlessly cool. But I wouldn't put him on the level of a lot of other characters, not only in Persona 3, but in other Persona games. So for that, I'm gonna just go B tier. Alright, Mitsuru Kirijo. I love Mitsuru. In my video I said that Yukari was best girl in 3, but I've kind of changed my mind on Mitsuru. In the beginning she's not the most likable, she's very standoffish, she's kind of pretentious, She's, you know, smart leader, but you know what? I like her. All right, I think she's a cool character. So I'm gonna go A tier. Okay, Fuka. She's a little divisive, I know. She is okay. She's pretty boring. She's kind of bland. Her social link was fine. She has a decent role in the story. I like her. I don't mind her. I think she contributes to the cast in a great way. Maybe not a great way, but a solid way. But in general, she's not fantastic. I don't know if I would go so far as to say that she's like straight mid. You know what? B tier, because I really don't think she's still like enjoyable enough, I guess. I don't know. Maybe I'll change it later. Okay, now we have Aigis. Now Aigis, if you watched my video on Persona 3, you know that I definitely saw a lot of value in Aigis. I love Aigis. She's a incredible character. She's kind of I think kind of the heart of the game. Once she develops feelings, like, it really enforces a lot of the themes that Persona 3 tries to convey, and it does it in a fantastic way, and in this very emotionally potent way that I thought was fantastic. So with that reason, I'd say she's undoubtedly S tier. Kuromaru. I said this in my video, and I'll say it again. He's a dog that fights with a knife. I don't even have to question it. Actually, he's just A tier. I was just being a little silly. Alright, Ken. He's okay. His story's pretty heavy. It can be a little much at times. I think he's good. He's not my favorite, and I didn't make a comment on this in the video, but I mean, the fact that you can romance him in Portable is gross. Not really sure where to put him. He's B, I guess. I don't know. He's not mid. He's got a good story. I'd put him above other people, and we'll get to those people. Believe me, we'll get to those people. All right, Shinjiro. I'm pretty sure people really like this guy. He's fine. I can't say I got too much out of him. I mean, yeah, you know, he comes in and then he exits. Bruh. I don't know. Do people think he's hot or something? I don't know. Do I put him in C tier? I don't know. I might get roasted for this one. I don't know, man. He didn't really do too much for me, but he's good, I guess. I don't know. But next up, we have Kenji. I hate him. Like, he's like the first social link in the game, and he's so annoying, and just why is he like this? He's not even very enjoyable to hang around with, and on top of that, you have the whole teacher dating thing, and I'm just like, nah, man. Look, it's definitely weirder that the teacher herself agreed to date him, but he just doesn't shut up about it, and it's really annoying, and I hate him. He's F tier. I hate him. I actually really don't like him. And speaking of disliking, I forget his name. I don't know. He looks like Spoonie. I didn't really talk to him that much in the game. I had to watch his confidant or social link. He's not one of those characters that's like really cool and likable. He's flawed, I guess. He's not very likable, but like, I just don't care. I mean, I've seen some people call him a narc because like his whole narrative is just like, someone smoked in the bathroom, I need to stop them. And it's just, I don't really care. And then that's dragged out for quite a while, and then he's just like, huh, maybe I should listen to what other people have to say instead of enforcing my rules onto other people. So for that reason, he's D tier. I really didn't enjoy watching his social link that much. But now we have the elderly couple, which I talked to in Portable. Not sure how different their social link is, but You know, I thought they were nice. They were nice. I'd throw them in B tier. I'd say that's pretty appropriate. All right, next up we have Kaz. He was definitely one of the more enjoyable social links or side characters in 3. He had a decent narrative. His character was a decent. I'd probably throw him in B tier. Alright, Chihiro. When I was playing the game, she was definitely my favorite side character. Like, I started talking to her and I was like, hey, she's not bad. And yeah, she's not. She's pretty decent. She's pretty enjoyable. Her story's good. A pretty good character. I enjoyed her, but she's really not a favorite at the end of the day. Next up, we have the homeroom teacher, aka the online social link, the MMO RPG thing. Now, in terms of the actual online communication part, she was pretty entertaining. You know, I definitely loved the unique angle of it being not in person. And, you know, the twist is fine, but, you know, the whole having a crush on her student thing is pretty weird, but, you know, probably B tier as well. Okay, next up we have nerd guy. I don't remember his name. It's fine. Something about him wanting to be a doctor, but also not wanting to be a doctor because of his dad. The C tier. Yuko. I don't like her. I thought she was annoying, and her eyes kind of weirded me out. D tier. I really wasn't. Mako. So, ignoring the premise of a high schooler going to a playground to hang out with an elementary school girl, I thought the social link was pretty great. It just kind of hit a lot of the things that I like in the social link. And Mako was exactly that, with the whole, you know, parents divorcing thing, helping her understand that. I thought it was pretty nice. I'm not gonna go so far as to say it's like A tier great, but like, it's very good in my opinion. It's very good. I'd probably like her a little more than a lot of these other B tiers, but I don't like having a bunch of tiers. It's too complicated. I like to keep it simple. Alright, next up we have Bebe. He was fine. I don't know. I think people like him. I mean, he's definitely eccentric. He's funny, and when he talks, it's written in like, it's written as he's like,
Jesus
like
Christ.
It's written
Shut
as if
the
he's
fuck up. Nobody
like,
gives
like
a
the
shit.
words
Okay, I'm out of here. You gotta keep talking. I'm
kind of spell out. You know, the social link was all right. It's better than a lot of the weaker ones in 3, but I don't think it's one of the best in terms of school characters. So I'm gonna just go C tier. I'm not totally sold on him. I'm sorry. Next up is Tanaka, aka the shopping channel guy. I was actually pleasantly surprised with this guy. He's definitely very, you know, sleazy. He's self-centered. I feel like this is an example of like a character with like this flawed trait being very entertaining and enjoyable. I'm gonna go B tier. The monk guy. Definitely another unique character. You know, he's a lot older. He's kind of cynical. And you as a protagonist kind of help him see the flaws in his life and kind of motivate him to reconvene with his family, stuff like that. I'd say he's B tier. A lot of Persona 3 is like B tier. I'm really not, in the grand scheme of things, totally in love with a lot of the side characters in 3. I said that in the video, and even upon watching a lot of the social links that I missed on YouTube, overall, I still think it's a bit of a weak point in the game. Because, a case in point, in a way, we have sports rival guy. I don't remember his name. Like, I found his social link to be kind of bland. Especially compared to, like, Kaz. Like, you already had Kaz, and I feel like he was Kaz, but less interesting. Wasn't over the moon for this guy. I'd say C tier. Okay, next up we have the Gourmet King. So, I watched this dude's social link on YouTube. Awful. Like, I get not every character has to be likable, but my god, he was like, why? And it kind of sucks because I feel like it could have been pretty decent if they kind of reframed it a bit. Because his character is super, like, kind of rude, not very smart. He doesn't have much self-confidence, but instead of trying to improve himself, he just makes up this fake religion where when he passes away, he gets the dream body. And he doesn't really learn a lesson until the very end of the social link, and it's just stupid. I hate him. And I feel like it could have been easily, like, reframed if you met him, he didn't like himself, and then the social link was about the protagonist helping him improve himself. He's interesting, I guess, but man, he ain't it, man. But on the polar opposite of the spectrum, we have Akinari. I forget how to pronounce it, but the dying man. I unfortunately avoided him in my playthrough because I thought he looked kind of creepy, especially since he appeared during Mako's social link. I kind of got some weird, like, some weird pedo vibes. That was probably a bit, I was probably being a little judgmental, but you know, he kind of weirded me out. Hey, that's an example of judging a book by its cover, because he's honestly the best side character in 3, hands down. I wish I talked to him, and I wish I got to talk about him in my video, because man, like, it's really sad. And again, you know, it reinforces the themes of the game with, you know, life and death and things like that. And you know, it's just, it's a really great social link. I would honestly say he's A tier. Okay, moving on to some Persona 3 portable characters, as that game did feature some exclusive characters. First of all, we have the female protagonist. You know, she's cool. She's cool. I love her design. She's definitely kind of the opposite of Minato, being a little more cheerful. I think it'd be really cool if they did another female protagonist in Persona 6, kind of have that alternate route, because I thought it was really cool. Then we have Rio. She was good. I definitely enjoyed her quite a bit. I'd say she's B tier. Same goes for Sayori. I talked about her in my video. I thought she was an interesting character. She's quite the doormat, letting people just kind of walk all over her, but I always looked forward to seeing what would happen next. So because of that, I'd also say B tier. This is definitely repetitive, but that's just kind of how I feel about a lot of these characters. However, that is not the case for the next game, Persona 4, because I'm going to let you know that I have quite the bias when it comes to this game, because I really love a lot of these characters. Kicking things off with Yu Narukami. He's probably my favorite protagonist. I love a lot of the responses in the game. I like his design, and he's an absolute Chad, man. Like, when they were at that party, he was getting bitches in his lap. I love Yu. He's amazing. He's my favorite protagonist. I'm gonna go S tier for the Chad himself. Then we have Yusuke Hanamura. I absolutely love Yusuke. Probably my favorite bro character in the series. I think he's just a super likable character, just really fun, really funny. He's so much fun in the game. I love him. I love the way he interacts with the protagonist and everybody else. He's just such a treat in the game. I'd say he's S tier as well. You're gonna notice a pattern with these Persona 4 characters, because they're just so good. Case in point, Chie. If you saw my Persona 4 video, you remember that I really liked Chie. I think she's awesome. Just really fun character, really funny. She was also, of course, my romance pick. she's just great. I love Chie. Following that up with her best friend, Yukiko. I also love Yukiko. Not my favorite character in the game, but a great one nonetheless. I like her more reserved personality. Her obliviousness is hilarious, and her social link is great. You know, But yeah, great character. I don't have much negative to say about Yukiko. And same goes for Kanji Tatsumi. Another fantastic character. You meet him thinking he's going to be like some punk, some troublemaker, and while he kind of was, that's really not his true self. In fact, he has a bit of a soft side, and I love how in his social link you help him come to terms with his hobbies that people would make fun of him for, stuff like that. I love Kanji. He's awesome. He's a great character.
Man, a watermelon.
Risei Kujikawa. I think she's great. She's very bubbly, very fun. I didn't really like her at first, but it didn't take very long for me to really love her. But she plays well into the cast, and her social link, just learning about her thoughts on fame and eventually going back into it, I think. It's all really great. It's all really great. I love Risei. I'd say she's A tier. Next up we have Teddy. One of the funnier characters in 4. I think he's hilarious. I think he's a load of fun. I mean, who can hate Teddy, really? He's probably the best mascot character in a Persona. Like, I love him in the base form, but once he develops a human body, it's just hilarious. Like, I'm just now thinking of the scene where he's like asking the protagonist to like kiss him or something, and then Dojima comes in, he's like, what the hell are you doing? like stuff like that is just hilarious. It's amazing. He's definitely A tier as well. I feel like things are going to get very repetitive with the A tiers because next up we have Naoto. She's the serious one of the group. You know, she knows when to straighten out the team and get him thinking straight, get him on the right track. She's a great detective. She's smart. She's a fantastic character. I'm pretty sure she's a fan favorite. I see a lot of people who love Naoto, and I do as well. She's definitely a highlight of the game. She's great. I love Naoto. Next up, we have the one, the only, Adachi.
Adachi. Adachi! Adachi!
Do I even need to say anything? It's Adachi. He's S tier. Alright, Dojima. I really like Dojima. I think he's an interesting character. He's definitely flawed with him, you know, not being home a lot of the time, but when you do get the chance to talk to him at night, it's very interesting, you know, seeing the personal side of him. It's really great. 3 didn't really have any like parental figures, but as a first example of that, he's very good.
Great vegetables.
But next we have Nanako.
Teddy, big bro, are you guys horny?
I love Nanako. Who doesn't? She's a pretty heartwarming character. Like, her social link is pretty unique because with you being her big bro and all, when you talk to her, you kind of teach her things and help her through stuff. It's not like a Yusuke where you're hanging out, you know, shooting the shit. It's, you know, brother, it's very, what am I trying to say? I don't know. It's just really sweet. She's definitely S tier. Okay, moving on to the side characters in Persona 4, starting off with Ko and his friend. I know they each have their own story, but they also hang out. I did not get to the other guy with the bandage, him. I didn't get to him, but I thought they were both pretty cool. I'd say they're B tier. Alright, next up we have Saki's brother. Upon watching it on YouTube, I thought it was pretty good. Not my favorite. Just his character, like his personality didn't necessarily like grip me. I don't know, he just wasn't really my favorite, but his story is pretty good. Just kind of, I guess, trying not to live in the shadow of what people think of him, I guess. I don't know, he really wasn't my favorite. I don't know if I'm gonna go C tier, but I'd say B tier is appropriate. Spoilers, but I think a lot of these side characters are gonna be B tier. Alright, next we have Death Grandma. She was pretty sad. Not my favorite, but a decent narrative. She was good, so I'd say B tier. Okay, the daycare mom. She was pretty good. I definitely like how her social link explored her relationship with her son through not only talking to her, but also talking to her son and kind of seeing what they think of each other, you know, trying to help their relationship. It's good. She's definitely not a fantastic parent or anything, and the son probably has some issues to work out, but overall, pretty solid. Can't complain too much. Okay, next up we have the nurse. Now the nurse is an amazing character because she invades your personal space, if you catch my drift. That was a little weird, but honestly I thought her social link was pretty good. And since it's connected to a job, you not only get paid, but you also get a stat boost, and a hot nurse gets to touch you. Hey, win-win if I do say so myself. Jokes aside, she's B tier. Not my favorite, but still pretty good. All right, next up we have Shu. I didn't get around to him in game. I had to watch this on YouTube, and at first I was like, damn, this kid's kind of a brat. I don't know if I'm gonna like him, but it was pretty solid. His mom is like, you know, wants him to be the best he can, and then he thinks he has to live up to her expectations and all of that, so it's pretty good. I enjoy him. I'd say he's B tier. Next up we have a bit of a divisive one, and that is I. So I definitely understand why she would be off-putting to a lot of people, because when you meet her, she's a bitch. She's really mean. She's very stuck up. But I don't know. I was talking to her in the game, and I was like, huh, this is a little different. This is interesting. And I was kind of right, because as the social link progressed, I really enjoyed it. Sure, she's very flawed, but you know, that's the point. And I don't know, I just thought it was a nice change of pace in the game. I'd say she's B tier. A lot of B tiers for these side characters, but that's just kind of how it goes. But we finally get to break the pattern, because now we have Yumi Aizawa.
Your mom's in the hospital.
And then going to drama got really awkward.
She sucks. I never liked her. I still don't. Because all her social link is her venting and whining about, oh, my dad, and oh, my mom's in the hospital, and all the protagonist does is he's just there to be like, yeah, yep, that's sad. Well, see you later. Is she F tier? Yeah. Next up we have girl that looks like a 12-year-old. I don't remember her name. She was fine. She was decent social link. You know, it's just her trying to get her musical groove back. It's just the only thing I didn't like about her was that she looked 12, and the scene where she's like, do you like me, senpai? I was just like, please stop. But, you know, still pretty decent. I'd say B tier. Okay, breaking the B tier cycle, we have Marie. I've heard she's a bit polarizing, but I thought she was fantastic. I thought she was great. Hands down, she's the most interesting Velvet Room character, no contest. I mean, I like the twins in 5. They're very entertaining, but Marie is really cool character. She wants to see the real world, so you take her out and kind of show her around. She meets with some of your friends, and I don't know, I just thought she was a super cool, awesome character. She's A tier for me, to be honest. Alright, finally moving on to Persona 5. And now I'd like to preface this by saying that I am currently in the process of writing my Persona 5 video, and in it I talk about a lot of these characters at length. So I'm going to keep it a bit brief for this, just for the sake of, you know, not spoiling my thoughts. But yeah, here we go, starting with Joker. He's great. I guess he's the most, like, thematically interesting protagonist. Yeah, I really do love Joker. He's pretty great. I'm gonna go A tier. He's a really great protagonist. He really fits that role because he does have a bit of a personality. He's a bit rebellious, but you know, he has to keep his that side of him at bay in public and stuff like that. So you know, he's an interesting character. So I definitely like that, but Yu's chat energy just beats him out just by a little bit. Okay, this one I know is divisive, and that is Morgana. And honestly, I don't get it. I didn't find him that annoying. I thought he was a fun character. He had great chemistry with everybody. I loved how he, you know, connected with Joker and formed a connection with him. I thought he was a fantastic companion character. He's great. I love Morgana. Alright, next up we have Ryuji. He's kind of similar to Yosuke, but he's definitely very different. He's still the bro character, but he's very vulgar. He's kind of hot-headed, and I love that about him. He's an amazing, awesome character. Love him a lot. I'd say he's A tier for me. An Takamaki. I love An a lot. She's awesome. One of my favorite characters in the game. You know, I love her chipper attitude. She's really fun. Just instantly likable, honestly. And her social link is really great. Just a great message that comes out through her perseverance to improve herself. I'd say she's A tier. I'm kind of noticing a pattern here where the main characters are like A and S, and then the side characters not so much. But that'll actually change with 5 since the side characters are a lot better. But we're not quite there yet, because now we have honestly one of my favorite Persona characters, that being Yusuke. He's incredible. He's so hilarious. Definitely one of the funniest characters in Persona 5 to me. Like, there's just so many just hilarious moments with Yusuke that I love. In fact, I'd go so far as to say he's S tier character. Let's go. You know what I'm thinking about? I think An might be S, because like she really exemplifies the themes of 5 in a really great way. So I think that'll give her a bit of a boost. But next up we have Makoto Nijima, and I'm just gonna say it: best girl. Don't at me. Not even a question. I didn't even have to question it. I love Makoto, man, and it pisses me off when people like her less than me, because I'm right. Makoto's an awesome character. I love how her social link is pretty much Joker helping her come out of her shell. It's really great. And yeah, when you meet her, she's very unlikable. But once she joins the team, once she opens up, I love her, and is just one of my favorite characters in the game. And I just think she's a really sweet character. And like I said, best girl, S tier. Yeah. Alright, next up we have definitely a fan favorite for many, and that is Futaba. She's great. She's great. I really can't deny it. She's fun, she's funny, she's goofy, she's quirky, but she's also really smart, and she can take things seriously when the situation calls for it, and I really like that. Her social link is really great as well, with her trying to get rid of her social anxiety, all that stuff. I mean, some of the quirky gamer references are a little cringe, but we did get that Mishima NPC line, and that had me busting a gut laughing. So yeah, not quite top tier, but I'd honestly say A tier for Futaba. Alright, now we have my least favorite Phantom Thief, Haru. I don't know. I just thought she was a little plain and not the most interesting. I mean, her struggle with her family and her wanting to do what she wanted in life, very good. But, you know, she comes in late game and she doesn't do too much. I don't know. I guess I see the appeal, but she's really not quite my favorite. I'd say she's B tier for me. But shifting gears hard, we have Goro Akechi. I plan on talking way more in depth about him in my main Persona 5 video. I'm hoping this video doesn't jinx it coming out, but he is the best Persona character I just think the way he serves as a opposite to Joker is just genius. Like, he's a very nuanced character, and I don't think there's another character in the previous games that comes close to his story, his narrative. It's really great. He's a phenomenal character. S tier without a doubt. Then we have Yoshizawa, who was a new character added to Royal, and she's great. I always looked forward to hanging out with her, and in the third semester with her kind of extended narrative, which I won't get into, that stuff is really great. I definitely didn't expect that. Really good character, really good character. I'd say A tier for her, yeah. And then we have the other newly added character in Royal, that being Dr. Maruki. So he shows up, he's charismatic, he's this really empathetic school counselor, really cool, you're helping him with his research, but then all of that stuff is recontextualized into the pretty insane third semester where some stuff happens and he turns into a very captivating, interesting character. I'm not gonna say he's like one of my favorite Persona characters, but definitely A tier, that's for sure. Shojiro Sakura.
Ooh boy.
He's the guy that takes a Joker in and has him live in the attic of his coffee shop, LeBlanc, and I think Shojiro's awesome. He is not the most likable at first, he's definitely a bit of a jerk at first, but once he warms up to Joker, it's great. He's a smooth talker, he's entertaining, his social link is really good. Yes, Sojiro, I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, he is A tier for sure. Alright, and now we get into the side characters of 5, and they're a lot better than the ones in the previous games. Like, I feel like they really made them more interesting, and that might be due in part to them being older and having all these different jobs and stuff, so you get a more interesting cast of characters. Starting off with Chihaya, I think that's how you pronounce it. She's a fortune teller in the red light district, and I liked her a lot. I thought she was a neat character. Joker basically tells her how bullshit her fortune telling is, and you help her kind of get out of the grasp of her boss or whatever. It's pretty good. I'd say it's B tier. I know I just said the social links are a step above, but you'll see. Then we have Iwai, I don't know how you pronounce that, the gun dad. I'm currently doing a new game plus of 5, and I'm doing his confidant right now. I'm kind of in the middle of it, and so far I really like it. I can't speak for the whole thing, but definitely really enjoying him so far. But where to put him? You know what, I think I like him more than a lot of these B tiers, so maybe A. He's pretty great. And then we have Takemi, the goth doctor. She's great. She has a really great personality, kind of sarcastic, kind of morbid. She's not like my favorite confidant in the game, but she's pretty great. See, this is kind of hard because, like, you know, maybe I was being a little too stingy with these other ones. You know, I'm gonna just go B tier. I think that's a little safer. I don't know, I'm a little on. I don't think he's on the level of these other ones. Let's go B tier, but just know, I really like him. But now we have Kawakami. Yep, like many people, I saw that meme and was very curious to see what her social link entailed. And while I did not romance her, I thought that was a little weird. That and Makoto exists, but man, like her confidant is great. Like, it's really fun because I'd always pick like these ass-headed responses to everything because I thought it was funny. But like, her narrative is great. Like, she's a really interesting character. I was really impressed, and I would honestly say A tier. And then we have yet another divisive one, and that's Oya. I think she's good. She's not my favorite, as I kind of lost interest in her whole story, but she is pretty entertaining. She definitely gets some laughs out of me with the way she acts, so I'd say B tier. Alright, we're narrowing things down. We have the gamer kid. I didn't really get too far in his social link. I watched some of it on YouTube. It's okay. Like, I think he gets you some good rewards, but maybe he'd grow on me if I got around to talking to him in the game myself, but I'm not too blown away by him, I guess. Next up we have Hifumi, and I think she's great. I actually really love Hifumi a lot. She has a bit of a reserved personality, but I think she's very likable, a really nice character. I kind of wish you got to go more places with her. I think she has a cool personality, and the benefits you get from the confidant is essential to the gameplay. So with that, I'm going A tier for Hifumi. She's great. Although now I just remembered that scene in the Valentine's Day episode of the anime where like there's like POV swimming with her. I don't know what that's about. I'm very skeptical of the Persona 5 anime. Following that, we have Mishima. It's easy to hate on Mishima, and I think the writers intended that because like no one really likes him that much. He's the butt of so many jokes, but I think because of that I grew to appreciate him for that, and honestly I like him now. Sure, his social link isn't particularly impressive, it's not the greatest, but I think as a character he's pretty decent. He's kind of funny. He gets some laughs out of me. I'd say he's B tier. Alright, now we have Yoshida. He's fine. He wasn't really one of my favorites. Not the most interesting. He's not bad, but I don't think he's great. Like, I like him a little. I'm just gonna go C tier. And finally, we have Prosecutor Sai Nijima. Yeah, she's kind of hot. I'd put her in B tier. Jokes aside, good character with a very good development that I really liked. And that's gonna do it for this Persona character tier list. A lot of B tiers, but lots of love. I generally like a lot of these characters. I love these games. Haven't really done a video like this before. I hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, I'll see you next time. And a catchy best boy.